Electrical systems are the backbone of modern infrastructure, powering homes, businesses, and industries. Understanding the principles and practices behind these systems is crucial for ensuring safety, efficiency, and reliability. In this analysis, we will delve into various aspects of electrical systems, focusing on the components, design considerations, and troubleshooting techniques that are essential for working with electricity. Electrical systems typically consist of several key components. Firstly, a power source, which could be a utility grid, a generator, or a battery. The power source provides the electrical energy that drives the system. Secondly, conductors, such as wires and cables, which carry the electrical current from the power source to the various loads. Thirdly, protective devices like circuit breakers and fuses. These protect the system from overloads and short circuits. Fourthly, loads, which are the devices or equipment that consume electrical energy, such as lights, motors, and appliances. And fifthly, control devices, which include switches, relays, and controllers that are used to regulate the flow of electricity to the loads. When designing an electrical system, several factors must be considered to ensure optimal performance and safety. Firstly, load calculation. This involves determining the total amount of electrical power that the system needs to supply. This calculation is crucial for selecting the appropriate size of conductors, protective devices, and power sources. Secondly, voltage drop. This is the reduction in voltage that occurs as electrical current flows through conductors. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently, so it's important to minimize voltage drop by using adequately sized conductors and minimizing the length of the circuits. Thirdly, overcurrent protection. This refers to the use of circuit breakers and fuses to protect the system from overloads and short circuits. These devices are designed to interrupt the flow of electricity when the current exceeds a safe level, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of electrical fires. Fourthly, grounding. This is the process of connecting the electrical system to the earth, providing a path for fault current to flow back to the source. Grounding helps to protect people from electric shock and reduces the risk of electrical hazards. Fifthly, wiring methods. This involves selecting the appropriate type of wiring and installation techniques for the specific application. Different wiring methods are suitable for different environments and types of loads, so it's important to choose the right method to ensure safety and reliability. When troubleshooting electrical systems, it's important to follow a systematic approach to identify the root cause of the problem. Firstly, visual inspection. This involves carefully inspecting the system for any signs of damage, such as frayed wires, loose connections, or burnt components. Secondly, voltage testing. This involves using a voltmeter to measure the voltage at various points in the system. This can help to identify problems such as open circuits, short circuits, or voltage drops. Thirdly, continuity testing. This involves using an ohmmeter to measure the resistance of various components and circuits. This can help to identify problems such as broken wires or faulty switches. Fourthly, current testing. This involves using an ammeter to measure the current flowing through various circuits. This can help to identify problems such as overloads or short circuits. And fifthly, component testing. This involves testing individual components, such as motors, relays, and transformers, to determine if they are functioning properly. Electrical safety is of paramount importance when working with electrical systems. Electricity can be dangerous if not handled properly, so it's essential to follow safety precautions to prevent electric shock, burns, and other injuries. Firstly, always to energize the circuit before working on it. This means turning off the power at the circuit breaker or fuse box and verifying that the circuit is de-energized using a voltage tester. Secondly, use insulated tools and equipment. This helps to protect you from electric shock if you accidentally come into contact with a live wire. Thirdly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses, gloves, and insulated shoes. This helps to protect you from electrical hazards. Fourthly, never work in wet or damp conditions. Water is a good conductor of electricity, so working in wet conditions increases the risk of electric shock. Fifthly, be aware of your surroundings. Look for potential hazards such as overhead power lines, exposed wires, and damaged equipment. In addition to these general safety precautions, it's also important to follow specific safety guidelines for different types of electrical work. For example, when working with high voltage equipment, it's important to use specialized tools and equipment and to follow strict safety procedures. When working with underground cables, it's important to locate the cables before digging to avoid damaging them. When working with electrical panels, it's important to wear appropriate arc flash protection to protect yourself from the intense heat and energy that can be released during an arc flash. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. The NEC is updated every 3 years and provides detailed requirements for the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical systems and preventing electrical hazards. Some key NEC requirements include conductor sizing, which specifies the minimum size of conductors that can be used for different types of circuits. The NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacity of different types of conductors based on their size and insulation type. Overcurrent protection, which requires that all electrical circuits be protected by circuit breakers or fuses. The NEC specifies the maximum size of overcurrent protection devices that can be used for different types of circuits. Grounding, which requires that all electrical systems be properly grounded to protect people from electric shock. The NEC specifies the methods for grounding electrical systems and the types of grounding electrodes that can be used. Wiring methods, which specifies the types of wiring methods that can be used in different types of buildings and environments. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of different types of wiring methods such as conduit, cable, and raceway. Equipment installation, which specifies the requirements for the installation of different types of electrical equipment, such as motors, transformers, and lighting fixtures. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of electrical equipment to ensure that it is installed safely and correctly. In addition to the NEC, there are also other standards and regulations that may apply to electrical systems, such as those issued by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, and the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. These standards and regulations provide additional guidance on electrical safety and help to ensure that electrical systems are installed and maintained in a safe and reliable manner. Understanding electrical concepts such as voltage, current, resistance, and power is fundamental to working with electrical systems. Voltage is the electrical potential difference between 2 points in a circuit measured in volts. It is the driving force that pushes electrons through the circuit. Current is the rate of flow electrical charge, measured in amps. It is the amount of electricity that flows through a circuit. Resistance is the opposition to the flow of electrical current, measured in ohms. It is the property of a material that resists the flow of electricity. Power is the rate at which electrical energy is consumed, measured in watts. It is the product of voltage and current. These concepts are related by Ohm's law, which states that voltage is equal to current times resistance, or volts equals amps times ohms. This fundamental law is used to calculate the voltage, current, or resistance in a circuit if the other two values are known. Power is also related to voltage and current by the equation power equals volts times amps. This equation is used to calculate the power consumed by a load in a circuit. In alternating current, or AC circuits, voltage and current vary sinusoidally with time. The frequency of the AC voltage is typically 60 Hz in the United States, which means that the voltage and current change direction 60 times per second. The effective value of an AC voltage or current is called the root mean square, or RMS, value. The RMS value is the equivalent DC voltage or current that would produce the same amount of heat in a resistive load. Transformers are used to step up or step down AC voltage levels. A transformer consists of 2 or more coils of wire wound around a common core. The ratio of the number of turns in the primary coil to the number of turns in the secondary coil determines the voltage transformation ratio. For example, if a transformer has 100 turns in the primary coil and 10 turns in the secondary coil, the voltage transformation ratio is 10:1. This means that the voltage in the secondary coil will be 1/10 of the voltage in the primary coil. Motors are used to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. There are many different types of motors, but they all operate on the principle of electromagnetic induction. When an electric current flows through a coil of wire in a magnetic field, the coil experiences a force that causes it to rotate. The speed and torque of a motor are determined by the voltage and current applied to the motor, as well as the design of the motor itself. Generators are used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. A generator is essentially a motor operating in reverse. When a coil of wire is rotated in a magnetic field, a voltage is induced in the coil. This voltage can be used to power electrical loads. The voltage and current produced by a generator are determined by the speed of rotation of the coil and the strength of the magnetic field. Electrical systems are subject to various types of faults, such as short circuits, ground faults, and open circuits. A short circuit occurs when there is a low resistance path between 2 points in a circuit that are normally at different voltages. This can cause a large current to flow through the circuit, which can damage equipment and cause a fire. A ground fault occurs when there is a low resistance path between a live conductor and ground. This can cause a current to flow through the ground path, which can be dangerous to people. An open circuit occurs when there is a break in the continuity of a circuit. This can prevent current from flowing through the circuit, which can cause equipment to malfunction. Protective devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are used to protect electrical systems from faults. These devices are designed to interrupt the flow of electricity when a fault occurs, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of electrical hazards. Circuit breakers are resettable devices that can be tripped manually or automatically when a fault occurs. Fuses are one-time devices that melt and open the circuit when a fault occurs. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are used to protect people from electric shock. A GFCI monitors the current flowing through a circuit and detects any imbalance between the hot and neutral conductors. If an imbalance is detected, the GFCI quickly interrupts the flow of electricity, preventing electric shock. Electrical systems are becoming increasingly complex with the advent of new technologies such as smart grids, renewable energy sources, and electric vehicles. Smart grids use digital technology to monitor and control the flow of electricity, improving efficiency and reliability. Renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, are becoming increasingly important as a way to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Electric vehicles are becoming more popular as a way to reduce emissions and improve air quality. These new technologies are creating new challenges and opportunities for electrical engineers and technicians. It is important to stay up to date on the latest technologies and trends in the electrical industry to be able to design, install, and maintain these systems safely and effectively. Some best practices for working with electrical systems include always following safety precautions, using appropriate tools and equipment, and consulting with qualified professionals. Electrical work can be dangerous if not done properly, so it's important to take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Always de-energize the circuit before working on it, use insulated tools and equipment, and wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Use the right tools for the job. Using the wrong tools can damage equipment and increase the risk of injury. Consult with qualified professionals when needed. If you are not sure how to do something, or if you are working with high voltage equipment, it's important to consult with a qualified electrician or engineer. By following these best practices, you can help to ensure that electrical systems are installed and maintained safely and reliably.